Hey there guys, it's Chuck with MTG The Journey. We are here today talking about some spoiled Journey into Nyx stuff. We don't have any official card spoilers yet, but we do have some interesting art we can take a look at and kind of speculate on. This is the first art by Therese Nielsen, and this is the first one that shows up. It appears to be Healy Odd, looking down or touching a human subject with his spear. So my guess is if this is card art, that it's some type of instant or sorcery that branches into the Nyx coming into the world type of situation. So I would expect we could see maybe even enchantment out of this for a card art. But it has kind of the feel of an instant or sorcery, more of a sorcery-ish look to me. But we'll have to wait and see on that one. There's a lot of Nyx into what I believe to be Healy Odd here. And well, I don't know. We'll have to just wait and see what this one ends up being, but could just be art for a poster or something of that nature. But it's interesting to at least look at and see what this might end up landing on later. So would love to hear some thoughts on this one. On to the next one here, which is a Johnny and Elspeth. We do have a Johnny confirmed in this set. I will link the article here by Wizards in the credits at the end here. But a Johnny, I guess, comes in to band together with the Leonins and help them out, because they've stayed neutral, I guess, through pretty much the whole thing, and they've confirmed that Elspeth has stayed neutral and she's not behind any of this what's going on Theros. So, but we do have a Johnny confirmed. This art looks amazing. If I had to guess from this art, I would say he's probably going to be a green-white planeswalker. Just simply because there's no red shown here. It's all gold, white, and green shown in this picture. So if I had to guess right off the top of my head, he's going to be a green-white planeswalker. Would love to hear some speculation from you guys on what you think his abilities might be, being a green-white planeswalker. Token base is usually a Johnny. We have had tokens with a Johnny in the past, so it wouldn't surprise me that a token-based thing would happen there, or maybe even kind of a regenerate effect. I could see that being a possibility as well. So, because Elspeth herself makes tokens, so it would, only make sense that a Johnny would do the same thing. But we'll see. I don't know. I'm 2 years into my speculations, so I don't know. I'm not very good at it yet, but we're gonna go ahead and keep trying anyways. It's the only way you get better. So yeah, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this one, and we will go on to the next thing here. Now here we have an illustration by Darken. This is Krufix, but this is not the art for Krufix's card. So this is going to be some other type of card. We don't know whether this is going to be an instant sorcery, enchantment, what have you. It has the feel of a sorcery, just because of the fact that he's looming over this temple where he's said to have dwelled. You can see all of Nyx in the background here, and there's blue light coming out of the temple. So I don't know. It kind of has like a commune with the gods type feel to it. So I can see a similar type of effect going on there, or maybe plea to the gods or something of that nature. But really great art there for sure. So, but that is not the actual spoiled art for Krufix. We'll get to that here in a minute. So next we have up this art of Elspeth. Looks like we're gonna see an artifact weapon or something of that nature here. Artifact equipment, enchantment artifact of Elspeth's actual sword. It seems like that's what the purpose of this is. Be interesting to see what it does. But this doesn't seem to be an Elspeth card. It seems to be more focused on her actual sword. So I would look to see some definite value out of this, because I think it's going to be better than like Spear of Healy Odd or things of that nature. I think this is going to be just an all-out, adds some crazy effect to whatever it's bestowed to. Obviously, you can't give it to Elspeth because she's a planeswalker, but I don't know. I can kind of see it just being an artifact that affects the field. So we'll see what happens with this one, but would definitely be interesting here to see what this does. So on to the next one here, which is our first god, Athreos, the god of passage. This is the one that I've been looking forward to pretty much since I heard they were going to do double colored uh, gods or demigods or whatever you want to call these. But this is the guy that I'm the most interested in, the god of passage, the ferryman. This is going to be awesome. I really see Journey into Nyx being a very graveyard-based set, and I really feel that this is going to be one of the best cards in this set. I really hope they don't ruin this for me, but we don't know yet. But it seems that his number one job is to use that big old staff with the snake's head on it that you see there to ferry people, ferry souls from the dead. He lays it down like a bridge so that the souls can travel from the world into the underworld. So I see him performing some type of huge graveyard recursion ability. I think he's going to be our missing piece for our reanimator decks. So I think this guy is going to fulfill a lot of my wishes. I've wanted to make reanimator a thing again for a long time throughout this whole set, and have had really not a whole lot to go off of other than the whip. And it's just so clunky, it doesn't work real well, and it's very slow. And you can bring a lot of things back with Obsidat's aid, but it's very mana intensive, so I'm really hoping this guy fulfills that role. But that's what I think that Athreos is going to bring to us. So on to our next one here. We have our second god here in the form of Kyranos, Caller of Storms, or God of Storms, if you will. And he looks fantastic. Like, if nothing else on this card, I freaking love the art. Apparently, he is the god of wisdom, as well as little patient and not much mercy. So he's blue and red. So I expect we can see some pretty crazy shenanigans out of him. I don't really know what role he's going to fill or what ability we could really expect to see on him. Maybe it's like a... I'm sure it'll have something to do with casting instants and sorceries. And when you deal damage, you can maybe buff your creatures or something of that nature as his static ability. And then I see him being a power level of about probably like a 6-7 for 5, or maybe a 5-6 for 5. Is kind of what I see him at body wise. So we'll see how he pans out here. But yeah, I mean, just freaking love the art if nothing else. So I'm not a real big green-red player, or blue-red player, excuse me. So I don't really have any idea about abilities, but that seems to be kind of a static effect that something that would be blue-red would have. So let's move on to our next one here, which is Pharika, God of Affliction. Now, this one is another one that I'm really heavily anticipating. Because she's not only the God of Affliction, she's also the God of Healing. It's like an apothecary type thing, dark magic, the Mother of Gorgons. So, I don't know. This is going to be very interesting to see what she does. I see her static ability being sort of I don't know, maybe sack a creature to regen a creature, or returning again something from the graveyard to the field if you sack. But I see her being an extremely powerful additive to our, because green-black is all about poison and mangling and just dark shenanigans and death touch, or But the whip already adds death touch to everything, so I don't really see her having a death touch ability, but I don't really know. Like, this is gonna be an interesting card, as she is the God of Affliction. So maybe she'll have a static effect on your opponent's creatures or something when she hits the field. And I don't know, she seems like she might be a little bit of the underpowered as far as her ability. Like maybe an Erebos at like a 4/6 or a 4/7, but her static ability is just going to totally change the game. So I want to see big things out of Farika. And once again, the art just phenomenal, just absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely love it. So we'll wait and see what we see out of this one. But on to the next one here. We have Irois, the god of victory here. Um, this seems like it's going to be a pretty freaking awesome card. He looks a lot bigger here than in the past art that we've seen him in, and we didn't know we were seeing Irois, but we could guess. He is Mogus's twin brother. He is the god of like glory in combat, basically, the god of victory. And he governs warfare, where Mogus is more like the death and brutal side of war. And I guess both of them go back and forth pretty often. He is, I think, just going to be a soldier pumper type deal, where he statically gives all your creatures extra power or vigilance or something of that nature. I see him being that role as far as a god goes. Something to do with your ability to claim victory fairly quickly if unchecked. So we will see what to expect out of Irois here. But I don't know. I could see him going a lot of different ways. But once again, art looks really cool. We've seen him before on other art. I believe he was in one that had like a spire or something in it. I don't remember what the name of the card is though. So that was useless information for you. But yeah, so I don't know. I don't really know what to expect out of Irois here. Would love to hear some comments or thoughts on what you think you could deduce from the art here. So yeah. And last but not least, we have the actual art for Krufix, God of Horizon here. He's said to be the most enigmatic of the gods and has dominion over potential, distant, and unseen. He is seen as the Oracle of Dreams. He also governs navigation, mystery, and circles of time. They say he's the most ancient of the Pantheon and the keeper of mysteries that no others are meant to learn. So that's some interesting backstory here. So given that, I don't really know how they would do it, but I feel like he's going to be like if you do this, your opponent has to do this, or like take another turn after this one if you fulfill this obligation, or just something of that nature, or just scry every time you do this, or something like that. I don't know. There's a lot of interesting things that he could do. The art again is phenomenal. Darken did a fantastic job on these, and you can see. I don't know if you can really check here and see, but here, right here in this area, that looks like that is where the temple is for the temple of mystery. So that would be kind of a cool thing. And in that last art that we saw, Krufix, that looks like that's what's sitting right there, and the blue is coming up out of that spot. So kind of some interesting, neat art there as well. But yeah, that'll do it for today's spoilers. So would love to know what you think, or what your opinions are on all this, and what you might stab in the dark here as to some abilities you might think these guys have as we move towards the actual card spoilers here. And really hope we start seeing those any day now. I really hope they don't make us wait till PAX, which is freaking 8 days away at this point. So this is my favorite, absolute favorite time of the year as far as spoiler season goes. I love spoilers. I love guessing. I love looking at them. I love explaining new cards. I love waiting to see what's coming out next and how they interact with the cards we have now. There's just so much mystery and awesomeness wrapped up in it. So I don't know if other people get as into it as I do, but yeah, this is my favorite time in Magic. So once again, this is Chuck with MTG The Journey and RogueDeckBuilder.com. And I will link the article that I got all this from in the bottom. And hope you guys have a great day. And don't forget to check out our other videos. And thanks a lot.